Hi guys, we are here today to talk about the last 3 books that we have read. Now it is a busy day here at the library. We've got some tweens over here playing on the computer and people coming into the toy section, so you might hear a little bit of background noise, but that's good. We want people here. So my last 3 books that I have read, I have a juvenile and 2 YA. The juvenile book is called Rules by Cynthia Lord. We read this for one of our tween book clubs, and this is a Newbery Honor book and a Schneider Family Book Award winner. And this book was very much an eye-opener for me as an adult. It is about a girl who has a brother who has autism and how her family kind of centers around his needs and her struggles trying to make friends, trying to fit in, trying to be around others with him, teaching him rules and how to act in public. Well, whenever she's going to his appointments, she meets a paraplegic who cannot talk, but he can point to pictures in his book, and they form a friendship, and that kind of helps her to develop an awareness of how she's treating her brother, how other people are treating the kids, and how the adults are treating them in this book. That was really, it made me stop and think about how do I treat others who have conditions or are disabled in some way, and do I do the things that the adults do in this book, and do I need to be more aware of not doing them? But it is a great read for an adult, for a tween, and I really recommend this. Okay, sorry for the slight interruption there. So my next book is book 2 in the Song of the Current series called Whisper of the Tide by Sarah Tolser. And in this series you have Caro, who is your main character. She is a smuggler working with her dad on the river. It's a kind of turns into a piratey adventure. She's very independent. You have a strong female lead. She gets mixed up with the royal family in a way that you might not expect. And so then in this book, she has been called by the sea god, and so now she's actually out on the sea trying to help someone who I can't say. And there is a slow burn romance, so I know anyone who they want romance with their adventure, it is in this book. And it comes to a very satisfying conclusion. I was very happy with how this duology ended. So if you like magic, adventure, strong female characters, pirates, being out on the sea, you will love this series, and I recommend that you pick up both of these. My third book is Fury Born by Claire Legrand, and it is book 1 in the Imperium series. And this book is about 2 different main characters. Now, a lot of YA books do that, where they split your perspectives up. But this one does it in a very unique way, where you have one character in a certain setting, and you're reading her adventure, and then it'll go to your next character who's like 1,000 years into the future, and you're reading about what's going on with them, and you're trying to figure out how are they connected. You know there's a connection there because their stories are having to kind of do with each other, and then in the middle of the book it's kind of, oh, this is how they're connected. This is what's making the story go. It has magic. It has magic not working. So you have, like I said, one character has the magic. A lot of things are going on with that. One character does not, but kind of feels maybe like she does, like she can sense things. Again, you have strong female characters. You have a lot of plot twists. And what I like, some people don't like, but I like it whenever it hits or ends a chapter on a cliffhanger, and then you're like, oh my gosh, but then it moves to the next character, as long as it's doing it in a good way, not like super chopped and disjointed. And this one does a very good job of blending it to where you want to keep reading and read more, but you're not annoyed by it, if that makes sense. So again, magic, fantasy, dark angels are in this. So it's a really fun, unique read, and I recommend it. So anyway, those are the last 3 books of November that I have completed.
All right, guys, it's my turn. Cassity, Youth Librarian, Wellington Public Library. This is going to be a little hard for me because I read so much. Sometimes I can't remember what they were about. Don't look at me like that, Taylor. I know, it's bad. But these are the last 3 I read. The first one is my adult book. It is called Educated by Tara Westover. My really fun pal Amy suggested this for my mommy's book club, and it was awesome. It was amazing. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. This is a memoir, so it's the true life story of the author Tara and her memories of growing up in Idaho with her religious fanatic dad, who also, you know, was anti-government and thought the end of days was coming, so he was hoarding guns and food and lifestyle. But one of the things that he and his wife decided they didn't want to do because they were anti-government was educate their children. So their kids were homeschooled, and they grew up in a junkyard on a mountain. Extremely descriptive things of what happens in the junkyard. Oh, did I mention, by the way, that they are also anti-doctors, anti-medicine? So raising 5 or 6 kids in the middle of the wild in a junkyard, there's a lot of crazy stories that happen in this book. It's really emotional, powerful, of how she decides as a teenager to basically get out. So she studies, takes the ACT, scores high enough, and goes to college and ends up getting like multiple PhDs. So amazing book. Amazon just picked this as one of their 2018 best books. Highly recommend this book, Educated, Tara Westover. Second book is my YA selection, so this is young adult, so it is geared towards teens. There are some mature content in this book, so I wouldn't recommend it unless you are 15 plus. Loved this book. Again, I've read some great books in the last week. This one's called Truly Devious, and it is by Maureen Johnson. Yeah, Maureen Johnson. I stalked her yesterday on Google and Facebook, and Goodreads. Loved it. Can't wait to read the rest of the series that she has. But this is the first book in this series. It is a contemporary novel. It is I want to say she's 15 or 16, and she goes to this private school, again set in on a mountain, and I just have a thing with mountains apparently this week. But there was a series of murders in the 30s with the guy that founded this school, and they were never solved, and she is a true crime fanatic. So she listens to a ton of podcasts, she watches tons of true crime detective series, and she goes to this school specifically to try and figure out these murders, and it was great. I loved this book. So I'm going to try and get every teen that walks in that likes this type of like Sherlock Holmes, just murder, crime, mystery. It was a lot of fun. There is a little bit of mature content in this though, so I do not recommend this for anybody under the age of 15 or 16. Last but not least, my daughter Jackie and I are reading. She is a 3rd grader, so she's 9. So we usually read every night together, and lately we have been reading The Unicorn Rescue Society by Adam Gidwitz. This is, let's see what level it is. It is 4.2, so your reading level has to be 4th grade. Great little cute story about a new kid at school, and the very first day he goes on a field trip because he started school late, meets a really cool girl, and they have this strange social studies teacher that is wackadoodle. But they go to a national park and get lost and have an adventure. Super funny, super fun, educational, but don't tell your kids I said that. The great thing I also liked was about every 3rd or 4th page, it does have some illustrations, and that keeps my third grader interested, and she likes to listen to the descriptions and then see and kind of match them up. So really great series. I believe there are maybe 4 or 5 in this series. So if you have a third, fourth grader that you like to read with, I highly recommend Unicorn Rescue Society. That's it. Actually, that's about all I can remember that I read in the last couple of weeks. Thank goodness for Goodreads, because I try to go right on there, say what I read, how many stars I gave it, and a little review if I liked it. So I highly recommend the app Goodreads if you're an avid reader but you're starting to lose it like I am, and that you need to basically write it down. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Hello, this is Taylor again, and today we are going to be talking about our last 3 books that we read. My number 1 that I'm doing is Fahrenheit 451. I read this in class for my English class, and it's by Ray Bradbury, and it's about the main character's name is Guy Montag, referred to as Montag in the books, and he is a fireman in a future world where they burn books and people's houses if they own books. And we follow him through him going from a loyal fireman to learning some truths, and everything just kind of goes south for him in his life. And then, I'm gonna say this now, the ending does come out of nowhere. Just comes out of nowhere. It was a great read, though Cassity is disagreeing with me.
Honestly, I don't know if it's a great read or not, because I only got about 100 pages in.
Okay, there's 151 pages.
Okay, well, maybe I only got like 25 pages in. I don't know. There's a foreword in this book from Neil Gaiman, who I love. Is a great. If you read it, you don't need to read the book. He tells you exactly what the book's about. So I'm not a huge pretentious, flowery language where books make you like you have to think about every single sentence to see what it. And I just thought it was a lot of overkill.
We didn't read the foreword in my class. We just went straight to chapter 1, which there are like 3 chapters in the entire book.
But
So.
I mean, it's an amazing book. It's been out for 60 years, and they're making a TV series about it.
There's
Netflix
I don't know
movie.
about that, but there's a movie that came out earlier this year.
I don't know. So, I mean, all these people must know something I don't. But
I thought it was a good read.
yeah, I'm gonna finish it because you said the ending is mind blowing and it's a good twist. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it someday.
Okay. My second book is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. It has 655 pages, but it's about Simon Lewis from the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, and follows his tales through the Shadowhunter Academy. And it was originally an ebook, and it was 12 different ebooks, and then she comprised them as she did with the Bane Chronicles, and that's what this book goes about. And it doesn't just follow Simon. Like in the academy, they have like different speakers come and talk, and the speakers are like different characters that have been throughout both book series, or all 3 book series now. And it goes into the past with some characters from the Infernal Devices, and kind of like leads up to the next upcoming book series that she will be releasing. So I'm pumped for that. The ending is sad. Throwing it out there. So that's my take on this.
Number 3, Taylor
Yes.
Racy. What are you reading?
My third one is Escaping from Houdini by Carrie something that I can't pronounce. Maniscalco. We're going with it. I actually finished this last night, and it's a 3rd book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and it follows a girl in the 1800s and her pursuit of being a, what is the word?
Detective?
No, she cuts open the bodies.
Oh, like she wants to be a, no, not a mortician, like the police equivalent, autopsy person, right?
Yeah, the autopsy person. I
What
don't.
is it called? Coroner.
Coroner!
Boom.
Cassie got it. She wants to be a coroner in the 1800s, and she, in the first book, she meets a man, Thomas Cresswell, who is also working under her uncle, who is teaching her, and the second book is called Hunting Prince Dracula, and they like just go on crazy adventures with different murderers trying to solve the case. And this one, it takes place on a cruise ship, and there's the Moonlight Carnival is performing on the ship as they are sailing from England to New York, and throughout the entire trip there's a different murder every night, and they each die a different way, with tarot cards and regular cards left as clues. It's really interesting. Houdini's in it, and it's great. I really loved it. It was really good. So those are my last three. This is Taylor signing out.